Good morning, good afternoon. So it's Wednesday noon, and I'm back with my basket full of stories today. And let's see, what do we have for you first of all? Well, it's summertime, it's pretty hot, and we're not wearing our woolen clothes these days, we're wearing cotton clothes. It's monsoon rather. So, where are your woolen clothes right now? Mama must have packed them, daddy must have packed them, right? And who gives you this wool? Who gives you this wool? It's our very own lovely sheep, isn't it? Sheep, just like this, who has fluffy wool all over. But I know the story of one of these sheep who hatched an egg. So let's listen to the story of the sheep who hatched an egg. I always thought that the sheep they give birth to babies. But this is a sheep who hatched an egg. So let's listen. Lola was a beautiful sheep. She had marvelous wool. Her hair was smooth and shiny and silky. And each morning she would wake up, wash her hair, and then comb it nicely like this. So much so that she took hours brushing, combing, cleaning her wool. It was extraordinary. It was really pretty. And then, after getting ready, when she would walk into the farm to show off to her friends, they would all look at her and say, "Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she perfect? Look at her wool. We've never seen such hair on any sheep." Well, Lola felt very proud and happy as she bounced on the grass. But things change. And so they did for Lola. A terrible thing happened one day. It was summertime, and all the sheep had to have their hair cut because a sheep's wool is very, very warm. So they have to get it cut. So Lola, like all other sheep, went to the barber, the dog, who made them stand in one queue and said, "Stand in a queue and come only if your turn comes. Don't come to me like that." So Lola was waiting for her, but she was thinking, "What will I do when my wool will get cut? My hair is my only possession. It's so precious to me." But it was her turn finally, and the dog, the barber, was very happy cutting Lola's hair. "Okay, Lola, don't move, sweetheart. We're almost there, and done." Lola looked at herself in the mirror and said, "I don't look nice, I look horrible. I can't stay on the farm like this." But her friend said, "Lola, why not? We are all staying here. What's bothering you?" "No, but I can't. I have to go from here." So Lola went to the far end of the hill, and on the foot of the hill, she waited for her wool to come back. She waited and waited and waited and waited, and finally, when her wool started coming back, it wasn't smooth, it wasn't shiny, it wasn't silky, it wasn't straight. It was wild and messy and tangled. You know how tangled hair looks? All mess, very, very wild. And Lola looked at herself again in the same mirror that she had taken and said, "No, I cannot look like this. This is not Lola the sheep." So now Lola decided that she's not going to go back to the farm. She went up on the hill, and there she thought that I'm going to stay here. She thought that she had become really ugly. She didn't want to look at herself. She didn't want to go and see her friends and face them because they would think that Lola's wool is just like theirs. And for Lola, beautiful hair was everything. Then one night, when Lola was resting under a tree, something happened. A small, tiny egg, which is not so big as it is looking actually, it fell on Lola's head from a nest. And it actually got stuck on its head, on her head. And the egg stayed there the whole night. It was warm and snug over there because Lola's wool was, after all, very warm. So it kept the egg very warm, very snug, very comfortable. And in the morning, it hatched. And when it hatched, Lola thought that something was chirping on her head, something was moving on her head. She woke up, startled, looked here and there, and suddenly, in her hand, she got this little baby chick, the bird chick. And she looked at the bird and said, "Who are you? Hey, I just came out of the egg. I think I had fallen on you last night. You kept me warm and snug, and finally I'm out of it. I've hatched out of it. Thank you, Lola, for hatching me, actually. Maybe my mom has just flown away, leaving me. So, can we be together for some time?" Lola started playing with the baby. She loved her. They played a lot of games. They ran after each other. Well, the baby wasn't flying right now. Lola loved the baby's songs and the colorful wings it had. And the baby loved Lola's wild and messy wool and her lovely stories. They grew very fond of each other and they were always together, best friends. And then finally, the bird started flying a little. It started hopping and then it was flying a little. But then again, summers came and Lola was feeling very hot. So she told the little baby, "I think it's time to say goodbye to you because I need a haircut. My hair, my wool has grown so much that it's killing me because of the heat. I need to go and have a haircut." She puffed and the baby said, "And I need to see the world," she sang. Lola and baby bird said bye-bye to each other. And then the bird flew away. Lola went back to the farm. The dog was ready and he said, "Where had you been? I didn't see you for one whole year. Now come, it's your turn. Let's cut your wool." He went snip, snap, and there she was again. Wool gone. Lola was back like she was last summer. But this time, she did not look at herself in the mirror. Her friend said, "Hey Lola, we hope you're staying back." "No, I'm going to the hill. I have some work over there." "What work do you have on the hill? Last year also you went away. Now stay with us. I'll be back soon." So Lola went again on top of the hill, and there she waited till her wool grew back. And again she sat under the tree. Each night, one or the other egg was falling on her head, which Lola was hatching because of her warm and snug wool. And finally, Lola hatched around hundreds of eggs, and all the babies which came out became Lola's best friends. Lola understood that her wool was keeping them warm, it was hatching them actually. And she was proud of herself. And she never complained that she didn't have shiny, silky, soft hair. She liked her hair, which was wild and messy and tangled. Okay? All right. Now, in the comments box, let me know what is the texture of your hair. Is it very smooth? Is it very wild? Is it tangled? Use different adjectives for it. Come on. Right now, my hair is all rough. So I'm going to write my hair is rough. So you can just touch your hair and see what is the texture of your hair. Come on. And give me a word. Samapika, I would like to see what they write. Okay? Parents can help the children Tell them that how do they feel. Okay, but it's your hair, be proud of it. Okay, don't feel shy that your hair is not soft or shiny or silky. Okay, somebody says her hair is smooth. Okay, yeah, smooth is all right. Okay, what else I'd like to see the comments fast. Give me different words for the texture of hair. It could be anything. My hair is soft. Okay, frizzy, wonderful, I love frizzy hair. Okay, so Tiny Toon says, okay, somebody says silky, all right. Nobody says oily. Oh, okay. So somebody says I don't have hair. Okay, Maggie just had her hair cut maybe completely and she's bald right now. She got them shaven. Okay, black and smooth hair. Okay, what else? I'm getting a lot of adjectives here. Smooth. Okay, what else? Silky. Okay. Nobody has dry and rough hair right now. In monsoons, your hair also gets very oily, isn't it? Okay, silky. Nobody has wet hair. Nobody's out of the shower. Curly hair. Okay, curly hair. Somebody said frizzy. This is the second one who's saying curly hair. Very soft hair, says Amira. Okay. Black and shiny, says Snigdha. Wonderful. That's amazing. Okay. So leaving Lola on the hill with all those baby chicks, I'm going to rush now into another meadow. And in this meadow, we have a grasshopper who is very happy because it's summertime and he is full of energy and frolic. And he's singing songs because there's a lot of food around. The flowers are blooming. The skies are clear and blue. And there is no stress that he has. The weather is just perfect for a grasshopper to hop. And so, in the meadow, the flowers bloomed, different colors, and it was spring moving towards summer. The best time of the year, children, when there is food around you, when the trees have a lot of fruit, and the grass is green, there is no ice or snow, the weather is not cold, the insects chirp, and they have a lot of good time. The birds are flitting here and there, and this is the best time to sing and dance and prance. And so we have one little grasshopper, the hero of our story, who is having the best time of his life because he has a small guitar and he runs around the meadow, goes behind the trees, looks at the branches, calls all the insects and animals and is singing songs. It's spring, it's spring, it's springtime. Flowers are blooming and blooming so wide. Look at the sky, it's clear and bright. Come on, let's play. Am I not right? Okay. Now, this grasshopper is stress free. He has no tension at all. So he's just jumping around, hopping around from one place to the other, and singing all sorts of songs. He's very merry and very happy, very delighted. And just when he's singing songs for all the other insects and animals and birds who are actually listening very carefully to him, he watches one ant who goes by collecting a lot of food on her back over here. She is working very hard. And the grasshopper watches him day and night for a few days. That this little ant, she is not resting, she's not enjoying the weather, but she's just working. She carries a lot of food with her. You know what? She has collected a lot of rice. Hmm. She has also collected a lot of sugar. My. How much does she collect? She has collected a lot of beans. And what else? She has also collected some hot chocolate for the winters. She is very clever and smart because she knows that winters are just round the corner. And so her basket that she is carrying with her is all full. When the grasshopper watches this silly little ant carrying so much food, he just looks at her and says, "What's wrong with you? Why are you collecting so much food? Look at the weather. Enjoy, dance. Come, I'll sing a song and you listen to it and see how your mood just becomes bright and happy and cheerful." But the ant looked at him with a grumpy expression, said, "I am collecting food for the winter, Mr. Grasshopper. Don't you know that winter is just 2 months away? And when it's going to snow and when it's going to be cold, there would be no food around. No apples, no sugar, no flour, and no rice. Then what am I going to do? Will you give me food? Ha! I don't care. See, as long as I have so much food around me, why do I need to go around hopping, collecting food? I would miss out on the weather this season, spring. Come on, Ant. Come, let's sing and dance. Leave all this collecting food. Why are you such a miser? I mean, you collecting food, keeping it inside. What, for yourself? Can you eat so much food? It can last me the entire winter. It can last me for 4 months. That is why I'm collecting. Now, would you please excuse me because I am getting late? And she left. Well, he didn't bother. He didn't pay any heed because he was busy dancing. And he went around singing his songs, la 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 la. But children, weather does change. Every day is not spring. Winter has to come. After a while, it started raining. The weather started getting colder. And then the first flakes of snow fell on the ground. And this was the time when all the insects shut their doors and sat by the fire places that they had built along with their food and their families. Everybody had loads of food inside in their caves and burrows and holes and ant hills. The ant had a lot of food, as I told you. She had rice. She had cocoa to last him an entire winter. She also had this packet of beans and a lot of sugar because they like sweet things. And she was sitting snuggled before the fireplace and having a cup of warm cocoa and was having a good time just when Grasshopper came knocking and shivering at her door. "Who is it? Wait, I'm coming. Open the door, please." When the ant opened the door, a gust of wind came inside. So she quickly got the grasshopper in and she shut the door and she said, "Are you crazy? What are you doing in the snow? Outside it's so windy and snowy. What's wrong?" "I'm really cold. I can't even breathe. There's not a grain of food in my house and no fire, no wood. Can I stay here? Or would you not let me in?" "Of course, silly. You are my friend. How can I let you go and die of cold and hunger? Come sit." So she made the grasshopper sit next to the fireplace. And the grasshopper, who was shivering and trembling, started calming down with the warmth of the fire. Then she gave him a little cocoa. Taking a few sips made him better, much better. He wasn't cold anymore, but he still was hungry. He hadn't had any food for the past 5 days. And the ant said, "Wait, we will talk later. First, you need food." So, the ant had made some delicious beans in her pot. So, she got those beans and offered to the grasshopper. The grasshopper had those beans. His tummy was full now. He was sitting beside the fireplace and he was relaxed. And now was the time for our little ant to speak. So the ant said, "Now, can I tell you something? Tell me, was I wrong when I collected so much food?" "No," said the grasshopper. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize that seasons change." "Yes, dear, the seasons change. And so when there is plenty of food around you in summertime, make use of that time. We are insects. We are tiny. We cannot survive just like that unless we work hard and collect some food for ourselves. There are no markets for us like humans have. So we have to collect food like I did. Now, do you understand and do you realize that working hard is important? Of course, he said, working hard is really, really, really important. I cannot deny it at all. That's like my good friend. After a few days, the snow started melting. The sun shone and the flowers bloomed again. The grasshopper and the ant were out searching for food together. The only difference was that the grasshopper used to carry now the big basket, and the ant used to collect and put the food into it. Together, they had a lot of groceries. But with the collecting of food, the grasshopper was also singing a lot of songs to keep them nice and happy and feeling nice, delightful. When the food was collected, they divided it. Half of it was taken by the grasshopper and half was taken by the ant. And so their winter was nice and warm and tummies full. So, if you like the story, then give me a thumb or write a little line about what was the best part of the story, and then tell me, do you also collect some food when it's summertime, or do you just rely on the markets? Now, these are insects. They have to collect food. Okay? But we can sit like that because we have markets and shops and stores to buy food, isn't it? But what do you feel? Working hard is important or no? Or only singing and dancing is good? Was the grasshopper wise enough to not collect any food in winter, in summers, and then was shivering in winters? I would like to see yes, we should work hard, somebody says. Working hard is important. When ant helped grasshopper instead of saying no. Yes. See, in some stories, the version says that the ant said no. She shut the door and let the grasshopper die of cold and hunger. But this ant wanted to teach him a lesson, but in a different way. And so she was nice and empathetic, and she helped the grasshopper. Yes, it's important. Very important. Yes. And if you see, we can learn some such great lessons from ants because ants are very hardworking. They're as hardworking as bees are. So sometimes we say as busy as an ant or as busy as a bee. Work hard for your better future. Okay. Are these comments being said by the children? I hope they know. This is a wonderful school. Hello, kids. I have had some amazing sessions with all of you. And we should work hard, but I get tired. Yes, of course we get tired. So breaks are important. That is why the grasshopper was singing the songs in between, isn't it? That is why the grasshopper was singing the songs to keep the mood nice and happy. Yes, work hard and also help friends in need. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, with this, I'm going to take your leave. We'll call it a day. I mean, the day is still on, but our session gets over here. I wish you all the best for the rest of the sessions that you do, and we will meet soon. Okay, bye bye. Take care.